Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 9. But just before we get into the Flash related stuff, I think it'd be weird as like a mainly DC channel to not address the passing of Kevin Conroy, which was most likely yesterday from when this video will come out. So rest in peace, Kevin Conroy, of course, legendary voice actor for Batman and not only the TV stuff, also movies, Mask of Phantasm, video games with the Arkham stuff, but also he appeared in live action in Crisis, which is was a monumental thing when it happened as well. Everyone was like, that was such a fanboy sort of fan service. That's the word I'm looking for, like fan servicey stuff. So rest in peace, But yeah, when I saw the news, obviously it hits you, especially if you grew up watching all that stuff and playing the games and just hearing that voice. Like, it's the voice of Batman, Whenever you read stuff, you just imagine that voice. So pretty sad news to hear that when I woke up yesterday from when you're watching this video, or today from when I'm recording it. So yeah, just thought I'd say that. But in the video I most likely uploaded probably yesterday from when this video comes out, which was about some more like Red Death images from the set of The Flash that may confirm that we are dealing with the multiverse again this season. Feel free to go watch that if you haven't watched it yet. I did mention that they were filming again at the time I was actually recording that video, but I wasn't really exactly sure what would be going down, whether it was more of the same, which I assumed to be more of the same, more of like the Red Death stuff, seeing that was, what had been going on for the past couple of, public shoots for The Flash. Thought, well, it would just be more of that. But instead we got something different and really random. That's probably the best way I can put it, just random. And I don't know what's really going on. I mean, outside of one character that's here, these new photos make it seem like they're trying to make the most, like, meme-filled episode ever on the show, which might be the goal. I have no clue, but we're going to have to talk about it. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts on this, reactions, any theories and predictions moving forward based off it. Always curious to read what you guys are thinking. And of course, you're going to enjoy the video, want to show your support and everything like that. Want to drop a like on the video to do all that. Now, these set photos are from the same episode that the photos from yesterday's video were from, which is episode 5 of this 9th season. So that means we are getting Red Death and these characters showing up in the same episode, which is, as I said before, like just so incredibly random, but somehow seems like typical Eric Wallace at the exact same time. So let's just go over these. But of course, these videos are from Canada Graphs. I think he might have a public thing up at the moment. If he does, I'll link it. So yeah, that's where these photos are coming from. There's only 3 to go over, so it's not like we're going through 17 million. Only 3. So as you can see here, you can see what I meant by incredibly random. It's incredibly random for multiple reasons and multiple characters. But obviously, as you can see here, we have on the left, Jacob Birch, then we have the Flash, then we have Batwoman, as you can tell by the back with the wig and the slightly red tinged hair. And on the far right, we do have Goldface. However, in the middle, you might be able to see a glowing gauntlet, and that's because that is Pied Piper, as you can see here with a lineup of Jacob Birch, aka Hotness, then Hartley Rathaway, aka Pied Piper, and Keith, aka Goldface. Does he have a last name? We just know it's Keith. Anyway, those 3, I guess, former villains, at least 2 of them are former villains, and one is, I guess, still got a question mark on them. They're randomly showing up in this episode, which, as I said before, is the exact same episode where we had Red Death facing off against Batwoman as well. So how these 2 connect, if they connect at all, will be a very interesting thing, and we'll talk about how maybe that's going to work out in a second in this video. But when it first showed up on my screen, I was like, how's this all connecting? But yeah, from what I can tell, this is in the same filming location from the other photos where it had Batwoman and Red Death. So I don't know if it's just that was all like stunt stuff and a lot of action stuff and it didn't require this, so then they did it the next night, or it was meant to happen the same night and it got moved. I'm not too sure. But it seems like it's all the same scene from the same episode, or roughly around like the same portion of the episode. So maybe it's like the final third of the episode, and you have all that Red Death stuff going on and all these characters are there as well. But as I said, Jaco and Hartley, or the Hotness, which I hate saying, but the Hotness and Pied Piper are on good terms with Barry. They're like not villains anymore. And while Goldface was still doing, I guess, villainous stuff last season, like when we had that CCPD episode, like the lockdown episode, he doesn't really hate the Flash. So I guess if help was needed in this way, in this major way, he could, provide it for Barry. And you never know, maybe he owes the Flash a favor. Maybe he didn't go to prison because Barry and Kramer did some good stuff and he owes the Flash or something like that. Maybe that's how things work out, and that's why he's helping out here. But you might be wondering, like, why are we having Red Death in the same episode and these 3 random characters and it seems to be in the same area. Like, what's going on here? How are they connecting? And to be honest, I have no real clear idea because at least we don't have any information from set in regards to why that's happening. But my theory is that maybe they're using the combination of these guys' powers to then stop Red Death, to assist in it. So, for example, you have Pied Piper. He's all, kitted up with how he normally is, as a Pied Piper does look. And he has the gauntlets. So maybe Pied Piper is there to help slow down, if not just stop in general, Red Death so he can't move, or at least stop him to a certain speed where they can do something against him. We obviously, or against her, because Red Death's a woman in the show. Because we don't know specifically how Red Death's powers work exactly, whether it's just like a normal speedster, if like that suit does different things. One or two sure if there's a bit of a difference there. But if we're just basing it off like how the Pied Piper affects the Flash, then Pied Piper's gauntlets and the Sonic stuff would be able to slow down the Flash, or slow down Red Death, might I say, or just stop her completely. And then we have Jaco Birch, aka Hotness, who could do something fire related, maybe like create like a ring of fire around Red Death so they can't get away. Maybe that's what he could do. Or maybe it's just like to, I don't know, something like that. Or cause a distraction. I'm not too sure exactly what it would be. But he can use fire. So he's a pretty decent villain to have there. A pretty lethal. Or not I guess not villain anymore, but a decent help. A lethal help as well. So, I mean, that could be useful. And with Goldface, the only thing I can think of is that he has his chain and he could use like his strength to assist in taking down Red Death. That's what I was thinking as soon as I saw Goldface. Or maybe just like we need the extra hands. We don't have a specific reason to have Goldface there, but hey, he owes me a favor anyway, so we'll bring him in because the more people there, the better, I guess. It gives us a decent chance at stopping Red Death. But as I said, like that's my only real theory as to why all these characters would be there alongside Batwoman as well as the Flash in this area where they're also filming with Red Death the previous night. So it seems like that's all building up there. I know people weren't liking it when I saw the set photos. I'm not the biggest fan of involving at least the Hotness and Goldface with the potential ending of the Red Death storyline. It seems just like those characters are really silly. You know what I mean? I prefer if they weren't there, but if they can make it work, then I can buy into it in some way. So if they combine the powers to stop Red Death, then I think I can buy in some way, shape, or form. But on face value, it just seems really silly. I know it's going to make people go, oh, I wish they weren't there. Like Pied Piper, I think we're all cool with. I think we all like Pied Piper. And the powers as well make sense with Pied Piper, that you'd bring him in to maybe assist. But the other two just seem so silly. But wait and see what happens. But I was wondering when I saw these guys show up, in this stuff to help Batwoman and the Flash take down Red Death. I was like, is this going to be like, could this be like the template for other episodes, in this season, whether it's before this, 5th episode or after it, heading later into the season, with older characters showing up again. So it's like, okay, we have to take down this villain, or I need some help, so I'm going to call in this one person. Almost very similar to what we saw with Armageddon at the beginning of last season, how you had like characters randomly showing up here and there throughout it, and it was to assist in some way. So Black Lightning was brought in to assist. Ray Palmer brought in to assist. Well, he was written into the episode to assist. Obviously, Barry didn't call him in. But, Mia Smoke shows up, or Mia Queens shows up and is able to assist. So things like that. Is that what we're going to see in this final season? Not obviously every single episode, but, like every handful of episodes it happens. Whether it's one character coming back or 2 or 3 like we're seeing in these set photos here. It wouldn't surprise me if that's the general template if they want to do that. As long as it just doesn't take over the episode. Like, that would be my worry if that's the way they're going to go about it. With Armageddon, I think they handled it pretty decently because the characters were only really there for, like, 1 episode for the most part. Maybe, like, 1.5 episodes. I think it was really all 1 episode. Like, Black Lightning was there for the ending of 1 episode and then the rest of the next. So I think he had, like, the most screen time for a guest star, I think. I think he did, at least. So they didn't do too much. So maybe we get that, like, it's, they show up for an episode for every now and then throughout the season. So like 3 or 4 episodes, you get that guest character coming in. Unlike Armageddon was pretty much like each episode, one after the other. Let's wait and find out, but maybe that's the way they go about things. But also, this could be the episode where we get the farewell to these characters. Of course, like with the Hotness, he's only been in 2 episodes previous to this one, I think. And with Goldface, I think he's been in 3, I think, before this one. So this will be his 4th. This will be the 3rd for the Hotness. And then Hartley's been in 4 or 5 as well. Or maybe a bit more because he was in some flashback stuff as well, but I want to say 4 as well. So this might be his 5th or might be his 4th as well. So this could be the farewell episode for these characters. I think the only one that needs a proper farewell in some way, if you want to do it, is probably Hartley, just because he was there from all the way back in season 1. But this could be the farewell for these characters. It wouldn't surprise me too much if it is. But if one character was going to show up again later in the season, it would be Hartley, just because he's, being connected for a longer period of time. And I guess he is like a certified like good guy now, I guess, within Central City. But yeah, he's the one that I could see coming back after this one. But it could be a farewell for all 3 of these characters and even Batwoman as well, because this could be the final episode of the Red Death stuff, which I guess would also be the final episode you'd have Batwoman show up as well. So this could be the farewell for Goldface, Pied Piper, the Hotness, and Batwoman as well. But yeah, that's all to really go over. There was only these things here. There's no specific information in regards to dialogue, what was going on, which I don't really like going over too much because a visual stuff is enough for me. Like once you start getting into dialogue, it can get really spoilery, and I try to avoid that as much as I can, unless it really helps explain it. But at this point, it's 2 silly characters showing up, so I don't think I need too much explaining as to what's going on here. I think the visual stuff does enough. But yeah, that's all to go over. I think it was somewhat interesting. If you disagree, let me know. But thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on all of this. Thoughts, theories, weird theories and predictions. Is Goldface going to turn into the Hulk? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comments. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.